Hey everyone, welcome to the Massiverse YouTube page. My name is Kyle Higgins, and today I am joined by uh, some fellow Massiverse creators, but we're here to talk about something a little bit different. Joining me from, well, not sure what squares the order are, but Matt Groom, Erica
Hey, everybody.
D'Urso, and Igor Monti, the team behind the title you might know, Inferno Girl Red. But today, here to talk about our new title together, Immortal Legend Batman. So thanks everybody for joining. Um, Matt, can you give a top level kind of pitch on what exactly Immortal Legend Batman is?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, Immortal Legend Batman is us taking a lot of the tokusatsu influences that we've explored and been exposed to over the years, mixing that up with some sort of old school western, and then mashing in some cosmic sci-fi, and then of course adding in all of the stuff that makes Batman great. All of that history, all of that iconography, putting that in a blender, and out comes Immortal Legend Batman, the book. And it's about three heroes, the Immortal Legends, who protect the galactic civilization of humans from monsters called shadows. But recently, one of those three heroes, the Immortal Legend Batman, has abandoned his partners and gone off on his own to rectify a grand mistake that he's made. And issue one picks up with him alone on that mission and already in a very complex situation. So, yeah, that's the book.
That's the book. So this is a six-issue Elseworlds that you and I are co-writing, and
Mm-hmm.
joining us on a whole bunch of designs as well as interiors are Erica D'Urso and Igor Monti, who are with us tonight as well. And as I mentioned up top, we've all worked together on your Massiverse title, which you can see over Erica's shoulder there, Inferno Girl Red. Erica, what has the experience been like moving pretty much immediately from a creator-owned title over to Batman with the same creative team? What has the experience been like for you to jump onto one of fiction's most popular characters?
So the first time I received the offer, it was from you, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing because at the time, I didn't believe I could ever be able to draw Batman. So it was a great honor, and I was really happy. And speaking of switching from a creator owned to a series like this, I could say it's challenging because I was um, drawing Inferno Red from some time, and I was getting used to the timings of a creator owned that a running series don't have. But it's surely giving me a lot in exchange in terms of enjoying it, fun, and also the comments and the reviews are a great prize reward. A reward is better for me, so it's great, and sometimes I still can't believe it. So I have a little post-it on my wall behind the screen that remembers me that I'm doing good. I know you don't know Italian, but this is it. Uh, it says you arrived on Batman. Look forward and look high.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
that's wonderful. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Well, Igor, you've done some work at DC in the past before, but what has the experience been like for you to join the same creative team, and in particular Erica, whose work you know so well at this point, but in a new capacity. And what have been some of your favorite aspects of building the visual identity and palettes of these worlds that we've been exploring? Oop, I'm sorry, Igor. I forgot to or I tried to unmute you. Hold on.
Uh,
Oh, there we go.
okay, it's okay. First of all, I'm sorry for my bad English because I think it's my first live in years, so sorry for everything. Uh, Jokes apart, I was really excited when you asked me to join the team of Infernal, no Infernal, of Immortal Legend Batman. And because was the same team of Infernal Red, so I was already relaxed about our way to work together, our tastes, and the feelings of the teamwork we had in our previous project. Of course, he's Batman, so I think I jumped till here when you asked me to join the project, and I've tried to keep the same feeling and the same enthusiasm of the Inferno Girl here in Batman as well, because my main goal is to be at the same level of the art with my colors and the same level of the story, and try to be good enough as you, my friends.
I don't want
Well, it's a
to say anything spoilery, but I was looking at colors for issue 3 last night, and hot damn, there is some
yeah.
good stuff in there. Maybe I'll just say like stained glass windows, and I'll leave it at that. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I tried my
Well,
best.
if the people are kind, if we get up to like 40 viewers, maybe we'll show off some early pages
Ooh,
for the
exclusive
stream
pages.
tonight. It's for some exclusives. Is that what we call them, Matt? Some exclusives?
That's absolutely what we're calling it. And while
Yeah.
I'm jumping and interrupting, I want to address a comment I saw pop up earlier, which was if the Batusiers appeared. And I would ask that person if they've read the first issue of Immortal Legend Batman, if they have, maybe you should look a little more closely, because you'll notice when Batman transforms, he uses a certain gesture to do so. And maybe you'll
Hmm.
get a bit more clearer look at that as we move forward.
Absolutely. My computer is freezing intermittently, so if I disappear, I'm using my phone as my camera, so I think it's okay, but I currently have no, you guys are all frozen. So uh,
We're
uh
here.
we're just gonna roll with this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, so as soon as I get control back here, we are going to actually bring up, how do I do this? Our, there we go.
Ooh.
We're gonna bring up issue 1 here. Um, how do I move from studio? Sorry, I'm trying to bring up our PDF. And there we go. Okay, so the other member of the team who wasn't able to make it tonight is the wonderful Dan Mora, who actually, in many ways, is the original kind of originator of this project.
Mm.
For those who don't know, Dan did this gorgeous cover that you're looking at right here, but he originally did character designs way back in 2019 that he was spreading, or he was sharing online, and they were kind of Kamen Rider, Super Sentai influenced Batman redesigns. And Matt, you, Michael Basudel, our editor in the Massiverse, and myself all saw these and were messaging just about how incredible they were. And it
Mm.
was through that kind of genesis that I think I brought up, like we should pitch Dan doing a book, which is kind of exactly what happened. And then it only took 5 years for us to actually be able to make it. But Dan's gotten obviously a lot busier since then, but he has still been able to contribute covers for the series as well as backup stories in each issue coming up here. So this is we're going to go through a few pages here. Um, but before we get to them, we also have an amazing, one of my favorite covers, our amazing 1 in 25 incentive cover by Matt Taylor, very renowned poster artist, Matt Taylor, who,
I've
yeah, go for it, Matt.
I was just gonna say I've heard on the grapevine that this is a hot commodity and is selling rather well
Oh, is it
on
really?
places like eBay. So if you want to get your
Oh,
hands on one of these, you might want to act fast.
good piece of advice there. So we jump in here on, we're not going to go through everything, but on this new planet, um, Matt, jumping in with a big cold open here, as we look at a version of, I guess this is kind of our take on the Batmobile. Um,
Yeah.
is certainly a media res in media res way of kind of getting into a new story or universe. Um, as far as you're concerned, what was the thinking jumping right into a essentially aerial dogfight chase on a foreign world as the best way to slow walk readers into this very different take on Batman?
Oh, this is Batman, Carl. We have no time for slow walking. I mean, I think part of it is just that we wanted to do huge, like widescreen action, cosmic Batman, right? And to
Hmm.
me, you throw people in the middle of it. But more than anything, I think this is really our take on a pretty classic trope, which is seeing Batman perhaps for the first time from the perspective of someone being hunted by Batman. And I think you get some of that in Batman 89, you get some of that in Batman Begins, and I thought it would be cool to do that with Immortal Legend Batman. And it also allows us to start the issue with a bit of ambiguity as to what Batman's doing here and his intentions. And this whole issue is built around uncovering a bit of a mystery and really leaving the readers, like trusting them to be in the dark and not knowing everything, having all of the pieces and having them have to discover it for themselves. And yeah, this is just our way of throwing them in the deep end and leading them up to the big tease and hook of the issue, which is that where is Bruce Wayne?
For
Plus, we can
sure.
absolute cool shit like this and show Erica and Igor off in the best way, which we love
So
to do.
that's where I was getting to next here. So Erica and Igor, this is a pretty cool. I've seen a lot of different Batman splash pages over the years. I've been a part of a few of them. This is such a cool, different version of Batman. Um, what was the interpretation process like for you, Erica, for a page like this that's essentially Batman mixed with dark matter energy, exploding through a rock face? What was your approach, if any, that you were trying to be mindful of as you showed off the Immortal Legend Batman for the first time?
So I was I always read comics where Batman is mainly a detective, so it's um, his entrance are very different, as you said, from this one.
Hmm.
And I wanted to, since of what he will say later in the next page, I wanted to give him uh, a, a different sense of first impression, maybe.
Hmm.
So very intimidating. And also, I tried to think of this page, reading a lot of mangas and other um, Eastern readings,
Mhm.
to have that Super Sentai and Tokusatsu vibes that I wanted to try, and I think that it's something that I'm developing through the issues, because the first one is always a bit of a gamble, because it's the first time I'm drawing something like this, but it's also something that needs to be uh, a good first impression. So I did my best with this shot, and I hope it did the trick.
No, I think it's a pretty epic one. Like I said, I've seen a lot of killer Batman splashes in my time, and this is definitely up there. Igor, talk to us about palette and building a mood for a page like this. What goes through your mind? What's the approach as you try to define this new world?
Okay, starting from Erika's style, I've tried to enhance the final result of the page as much as possible, with the goal to obtain an anime style, like an animation, of last anime films.
Mhm.
Um, because of course, I read a lot of manga and Eastern comics, but mangas are black and white. So my main reference are the animation. Is the animation. So in this case, I've tried to enhance that yellow, to connect the Batman to the first versions. Okay, and
Mhm.
in this case, I played with I don't remember the silhouette in the foreground. Yeah. Uh, in contrast to Batman and the environment. In this case, the the green planet, not so kind place. Okay, so just trying to, yeah, to to keep that um, unkind is correct. I'm sorry. Unkind place. So the green. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can hear the animals up there here. Yeah, just playing with the colors with contrast, to pop more Batman, and how is a little bit fancy maybe because is uh, pointed to the animation style, just in my vision. So just for colors is. I'd love to see an Immortal Legend Batman animation series. So is I'm trying to do as much as possible to keep that vibes on a printed page.
Well, an Immortal Legend Batman animated series would certainly be cool. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no say over anything like that, but I think we would all enjoy it. So, Matt, our final page here of this cold open ends with quite the hook. Before we get to, well, let's talk about the hook first. The Immortal Legend Batman appears to be on this planet hunting Bruce Wayne. Well, how does that work?
Well, I mean, you have to read Immortal Legend Batman 1 to find out. But this was a very central part of the book from its very foundations. It's the first pitch document that went to DC all those years ago. I think readers will now start to get a bit of a sense, if they've read the first issue, of just how much Bruce Wayne is going to be at the heart of this book. In a way that I think is actually kind of unique to a Batman book, ironically.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of who Bruce Wayne is and what constitutes Bruce Wayne is going to be something that we're exploring in that big, as I said, widescreen, super high contrast, super epic fun style. But it is a kind of psychological exploration in a lot of ways. So we wanted to set that up here, and of course, just give them that hook of like that's not what I knew, and maybe set expectations for readers that they might think they know Batman, but this is Elseworlds. Everything can be turned on its head, and they can't take anything for granted in this world.
Totally. So before we talk about any other sequences in the book, I actually want to pull something else up here. So when we first kicked off this, let me find it. When we first kicked off our live stream here, we were talking about this cover with gorgeous art by Dan Mora. Dan handled everything on this cover, pencils, inks, and colors, but he didn't handle the logo. And those of you who have picked up this issue so far may have noticed it's a pretty different branding mark for a Batman book. So I actually wanted to bring in our designer who is responsible for this branding mark. She works with us quite a bit in the Massiverse as well. Illustrator and graphic designer Kelly McMahon, who is here in the stream. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
So we're gonna go solo mode. Hold on, how do I? There we
Oh,
go. We're gonna put you on the spot.
well, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay.
Well, you don't really have a choice. So Kelly,
Apparently.
talk to us a little bit about the process of
Yeah, we definitely lost Kyle there.
Yep.
I think we could
I was
probably
like,
infer the
He's
end of
gone.
that question there, Kelly.
into
yeah.
your thinking and approach.
You cut out halfway through that, but I think I can make sense of what you're asking there.
Oh, good.
So, so I came onto this one a little later in the process. So normally I would say when you take on a branding job, it tends to be one of the first things that's done, because the idea is you want to make sure that you are helping set up the brand and the design, and the all-encompassing look and feel of either the story or the company that you are branding out. But this one was a little different. I came on when we already had fully fledged script pages and the covers were done. So in this instance, the cover art obviously will dictate the mark that is put on the book. So looking at this, Dan's covers had this incredible tokusatsu energy, and I wanted to make sure that that was something that was really honored with the logo design. But I also wanted to ensure that we were honoring the tradition of Batman. And I know traditionally Batman logos tend to have the bat mark, but it was a big fight in my own head over that, because I thought if you add a bat to this, the design's already so busy. I think you're actually taking away from Dan's work and adding an extra layer of information that just doesn't need to be there. And on so many of the cover designs that I was looking at, Batman is quite front and center. And I felt like Dan was doing a little bit of the lift there as far as the branding was going. So I lent into the idea of using a serif font that would honor that origin of Batman's Gothic beginnings and Gothic style from Gotham City, but something that had really big bold block letters that honored the theme of the book, which is the tokusatsu. So I wanted to bring the two together, and I initially was leaning a little more front and center, clean, simple. And then the more I looked at the cover designs, the more it just felt right to like make it all really big and really bold. In fact, Matt Taylor's cover was a little bit of inspiration for it because I really liked what he'd done, and I believe what was the phrase used? The man understood the assignment. As far as the doing that one. So yeah, I was like, yeah, everyone was really digging what Matt had done, and I felt like there was something in that, and that was definitely something that inspired many of the drafts that came through.
Amazing. So we have, I don't think we've actually seen what the next few covers look like with logo dress on them, but those should be coming out pretty soon here for people to see. I think it's definitely a mark that I think threads through the book really, really well. So very appreciative of you lending your talents on this one, Kelly. Is
Was
there
happy
anything
to help
else
out.
that you want to say, your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about Batman? Are we pro Batman or anti Batman in your mind?
I'm pretty pro Batman. I'm pro this Batman, Erica. He's real cute. Like,
I will say on that note, I've seen a few people online be like, this Bruce Wayne is really cute. And let me just
yeah,
tell you, if what you're looking for is hot Bruce Wayne, you're going to be so well served by Immortal Legend
oh
Batman
yeah,
going forward in ways that, frankly, you are not prepared for, and in like variety that you're not prepared for. We are like, that is one promise I believe we can
damn,
deliver on unequivocally. Get
Matt.
ready.
That's a promise. That's a promise.
Yep.
I'm holding you to
Listen,
this.
I feel 100% confident in that one thing, especially. We will be giving those people what they want, unquestionably.
10 out of 10.
Amazing. All right. Kelly, thanks so much for jumping in. We will be showing off more of your covers here very soon. And we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys, and congratulations. Issue 1 is amazing.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay. So Matt, what trying to think, like, I don't want to go through the whole issue. But what are some sequences that might be fun to talk about, or any aspects here that I think I froze again, unfortunately.
That's right. We got you.
You got me? Okay.
Good question. I mean, it's tough, right? Because I always underestimate, I suppose, people's appetite for spoilers. My inclination is always just like, just read the book, go in fresh. But yeah, I mean, I guess we could look a little bit at maybe like the truck chase sequence, because that is artistically dynamic and not terribly spoilery.
Sure.
If we have that to hand.
We can do that. My whole desktop is frozen, so I'm trying to
Oh no.
yeah, I don't know what to do. Uh all right.
If it doesn't
Let's
work out, I may
see.
have to like mime the truck chase sequence.
You could mime a truck
Here comes the
chase.
truck, and then Batman's like shh behind.
You guys aren't able to grab control of it from your end, are you? Probably not.
I think I have a present button I could potentially use.
Can you see the slides on mine? On my PDF? No. Oh, bummer. Yeah, I'm beach ball of death, unfortunately. Shoot.
Oh, that's
Hold
unfortunate.
on. It is. Let's
We
see
have a little
here.
technical difficulty screen with the Immortal Legend Batman logo on it.
I know, right?
I'll speak to Kelly.
Yes. Sorry, everyone.
That's right. Does anyone in chat have any questions while we are trying to figure out our setup here?
Okay. Let me see.
How about this? While Carl's figuring that out, Erica, favorite page to draw of this year? Don't forget to unmute yourself.
So I really enjoyed to draw the splash page that has been shown before, but I think I had more fun with the bat press page
Yeah.
because it was fun and also tiring because I redraw that page 5 or 6 times from zero, but I'm satisfied with the final results, so I can complain of the efforts. Um, I wanted to try something different, like it was a kind of collage of various elements, items, and moments. So
Yeah, definitely.
I think also that Igor helped a lot with colors to make my vision come true. So it was great.
Yeah. I mean, that is definitely the page that I've had a lot of people say, like, that was incredible. And I think it feels very different to a lot of books that are out there. So I understand that just
Which
a
page,
lot
Matt?
of the Bat Press page, the big
Oh
finish
yeah,
one,
let's go to that.
a lot of people saying, like, this looks different to anything that I've seen. And I could not agree more.
Absolutely.
That's
And I
so
love the
cool.
palette on this page, the palette on this page too, the monochromatic look for it. We tried a couple different versions on this, Igor, but this ended up being my favorite version. Awesome. So Matt, what sequence do we want to look at?
Yeah, we could do the track chase. I was just thinking about, like, things that incredible art
Yeah.
team can talk about. I think there's this page right here actually is one of the ones that, in talking with our editor Matt Levine, who is fantastic,
Hmm.
I think he like really got what we were going for when the art came back with this.
Hmm.
And this is one of those pages that in the script was a little hard to describe, but I knew in putting it down, like, Erica would get this. Like, this is,
Totally.
speaks the same language as me, and will know exactly what we're going for. And then as soon as this page came in, it's like, yep, perfect, that's it. You get a sense of how this Batman moves in a way that's very different to regular Batman, and it is captured so well in this moment. Was it
Absolutely.
a hard one to draw, Erica?
Excuse me?
Was this the last panel of this page? Was that a hard one to draw?
No, I think it came out pretty natural. Um, I mean, in my mind as well, it was. Sometimes I already have in mind the page while I'm reading. Other times it's more like a sequence of animation, and I have to select the scenes. So for this specific page, I think I was already I had already in mind how I wanted to draw it, and I'm happy to know that I encountered your vision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And the chase actually continues on here with a really cool showcase of high speed. I guess this is mining truck action, and and explosive projectiles. Erica, what goes into trying to convey motion on a page of comic book art?
Can you repeat, please?
How do you, as an artist, how do you show motion in your art?
Um, so I tried different ways because sometimes I experimented a blur effect. Maybe you
Hmm.
can find it somewhere in some panels, but I reduced it a lot and I used it more during the Inferno Red book.
Hmm.
And this time I wanted to go a little more. back, and what I mean by back is that I'm reading more old comics now than before, and I'm trying to understand how they describe movement. You know, when having a tablet wasn't the rule, so it was all by
Right.
hand, all on paper, and I wanted to try uh, to go back there, and I also um, tried to pick something from um, um, animation and manga as well. So maybe giving exaggeration to poses and deforming specific part of the anatomy to give this sense of motion. Um, because sometimes I feel like I feel, uh, mm, you know, confined into the rules of doing a good anatomy, but losing the movement
Hmm.
and the vibe of the page. So sometimes I leave the rules to another side and just make comics fun to read and to draw.
That's awesome. Well, and this is a really good a good one, a good example here. Oops, sorry, my computer's misbehaving again. Okay, so the chase continues here through the canyons. Matt, when we were doing this one, um, I have some thoughts on certain things we were looking to establish, but what were some of the top things in your mind that were key for us to establish about Batman specifically, as we were depicting the way he hunts down this truck?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some ways, it's the scene was about, rather than establishing what we wanted the readers to know, about creating a little bit of a sense of ambiguity, because we've been told by, well, Bruce Wayne at this point that Batman is dangerous. Batman may be a killer. Batman is something to be feared, and Batman obviously has an alternate perspective, and we don't really know who to trust at this point because on one side is Batman and the other side is Bruce Wayne. And we really wanted to kind of split the difference here where, Batman is hunting with such ferocity and such sort of like just intense power that we don't know at this point. Like, is he a killer? Is this Batman someone to be feared, or is he a hero? Is he trying to do something righteous? And as this sequence goes on, I think it could really go either way. And I think you can imagine that if this version of Batman was killing humans, that would be a tremendously terrifying thing because of just the raw power that this Batman brings to bear, as well as his relentlessness and his inability to let his prey slip through his fingers. So yeah, it's very much about keeping that tension high and using that as an excuse to show off Erica and Igor doing what they do so well.
And Igor, one of the things we called for in the script was to we wanted to show Batman manifesting batarangs from dark energy itself. What was your approach to visualizing and depicting what energy looks like in this world, and specifically the energy that Batman is using to manifest these batarangs and other items we're going to be seeing in future issues? Oh, gotta unmute you.
Okay. My approach was to consider the batarangs like not a physical objects, but like something non-material. So not non so not touchable. Okay. And the challenge here was to make the feelings of the energy and something you can you can touch and you can't understand how it works because it's a little bit of a little bit of energy, a little bit of magic, something uh, strange and like dark energy is. So considering the dark energy and all the black, my main goal was to point a solid color, in this case the yellow, to understand better how the batarang sound, the energy from Batman was created. So when you see the magic pose of Made for America when he makes the batarangs from dark energy. The yellow flashes helps a lot to understand the non-real uh, nature of the batarangs in this case.
Awesome. Um, so Matt, we've gotten to the point here where we do have our first henshin in the book, Immortal Legend Batman, with his our take on his Bat-2C, uh, and the transformative phrase "become the night," as we saw here from a question that just popped up. Uh, that henshin call was the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen. Were there any other contenders for the phrase? Should we tell the people or talk to the people about what our process was for determining this
Yeah.
henshin?
Yeah, we went back and forth on it a little bit. I think it was always close to this, but
Hmm.
I think in the script for a long time it was Into the Night.
Yeah.
Because we've had discussions about this, but we talked a lot about what makes a good call in this instance, and obviously the classic is the Kamen Rider Henshin, which is simply Japanese for transform. In the Nova and Power Rangers, you have a whole bunch of them per different seasons, and I've always been a believer that a good morphin call has a verb in it. Basically, it's an active phrase because it does signal a transition from one state of being to another, and you want that kind of driving energy to push you through the transition.
Hmm.
So we were looking at sort of like classic Batman phrases and terminology, and I think ultimately what we arrived at with this was Batman talking about his pledge and about how he would become a bat, and also you know, the absolute classic, I am darkness, I am the night, I am Batman. So we kind of merge the like, I will become a bat with the I am the night into become the night. And I will also give a little hint that part of coming up with this was, you know, there is at least one other phrase out there for a transformation, and there are other immortal legends out there. So we wanted to create a set that felt different, but matching in some way. So it had to fit in with that. So yeah, that was kind of the process.
Other other immortal legends, Matt. Who could you be
What?
talking about
What a
there?
segue.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So, to that point here, actually, that brings us here. The last thing I want to touch on, which is our backup stories in each one of these issues. This first issue, there's a lot of world building in this title that Matt and I have spent a lot of time figuring out. I mean, Matt, you started a spreadsheet. You have a spreadsheet that's like how many layers deep as far as worlds in this universe. It's
Well,
a
why don't
lot.
I bring? Yeah, it is. It is a whole lot. I'm going to pull it up right now. I won't show anybody it because it would be incredibly spoiling.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can find it. This is taking longer than I thought. Sheets.
In the meantime, we're gonna wrap up shortly here, but we're down to take some questions. So if anyone has any questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll star them, and we'll be able to we'll be able to get through a few before we wrap up.
Absolutely. Okay, I've opened my Immortal Legend Batman world building spreadsheet, and it is 106 columns down. Columns? Rows. Rows is that way.
Oh my
106 rows
God.
down. I can tell you that it is broken up into world classifications that we saw at the start of the issue, a list
Yep.
of worlds, the classifications of all of those worlds, some backgrounds of all of those worlds, as well as appearances in this issue so far. It's got a section on the history of Bruce Wayne, a section on general world building notes for the history of the universe, a list of Immortal Legends, both current and previous, a list of civilian characters that have appeared, secret section that shall not be talked about, companies in this universe, and also moves that different Immortal Legends are able to pull on in times of need. So
Also,
there's a lot
really
there, and
cool
we're only scratching the
swords.
surface.
There's a list of very cool swords, just because you need to know
You got
what
to just
kinds of cool
intense, all right?
swords are going to be in the world. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer in that. We've had debates.
yeah.
Um, so 100 plus rows deep. Is it common to do such robust world building on a six issue Elseworlds, Matt?
You'd have to ask some other people that have written this. I currently have a dice set of one. I can see it's common for me to have a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it's just, we have the whole DC universe. We've rebuilt a DC universe from scratch here. And that is a literal universe of potential. And we want to make sure that we're using it, but also that we're being thoughtful and responsible and building in a way that, if theoretically we're able to do any more of this, we have solid foundations, basically, is the intention.
Absolutely. So then, Matt, next month we've got issue number two, hitting stands, and I may or may not have a little find it here. And my laptop's not letting me share, man. This really is a challenging live stream. What can we tell the people about next month's issue number two?
Well, I think it would be fair to say that we drop right in with Batman on the hunt for his next target. And this
Hmm.
time, we're going even more sci-fi in some ways because we will be starting in space. There are there is a band of space pirates that have been terrorizing galactic travel lanes, and Batman is going to insert himself into the situation in perhaps a surprising way,
Hmm.
and we're going to have to see this Batman get himself out of a very difficult situation and potentially without the use of his powers, even. I think I could say we're going to see a little bit of this Bruce Wayne's history in flashback, maybe a surprise cameo that you may or may not be expecting. Um, I think you're going to see Igor show off what he can do with space and the cosmic realm in a very cool way. And I think we've given Erica an even better setup for incredible fighting action, like martial arts action, that will blow you away. So, yeah, lots to look forward
Absolutely.
to. Oh, and also the backup from Dan and Tamara Bonvillain is going to give you some stuff that maybe some people have been asking for.
For sure. All right, we're gonna touch on some questions here, everybody. Uh, what was the biggest Common Rider inspiration or Power Rangers inspiration when making the lore or story?
Oh, excellent question. Um, I mean, there's like grander and more granular influences, right? Like Kyle, you and I talked about Kamen Rider Build a bunch because we love that one. You mentioned
Hmm.
Space Sheriff Gavan very early on in the process. But
Yeah.
even like if you're looking at obviously Batman's fishing move in this issue is very Kamen Rider inspired. It is very much a rider kick. But if I were to point to one in particular, I think you see a lot of similarities with Kamen Rider Kiva's one of his finishing moves, um, which yeah just felt right given Kiva's kind of bat energy. It felt like they would have a lot of kinship. The more Legend Batman and Kamen Rider Kiva.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think those are the big ones.
Um, Outside of the narrative, Dan
Yes,
asks,
yes, yes, it was.
was the Bat Press an homage to Kamen Rider? Yes,
Yes,
definite
100% it
homage.
was.
Yeah,
Unquestionably, we love a rider kick, don't we, folks?
we
There's
do.
not much more better than that.
Well, I feel like that's actually one of the interesting things about doing something like this book that has an influence like Tokusatsu on it. You're working in a different medium than what Tokusatsu is predominantly associated with. I mean, honestly, its namesake comes from it means special effects, like from a live action filming
Live
standpoint.
action, yeah, absolutely.
I think that there are certain things, both aesthetically, but also I think narratively and holistically, um, that it becomes a conversation about like, okay, which of those do we try to channel when we're doing something that is influenced by, but also working in a different medium than the original kind of subject matter material. And so I've always said that like holistically, one of the things that I've really responded to in Toku is how much of a it's almost like there's much more of a soulful quality to the storytelling, I find. Like
Mm-hmm.
I find that there can be existential ideas and sequences. The the metaphorical made literal, I think works really well. And I think even just the nature of, and we can't really spoil where future issues are going here, but I think, Matt, our take on the villains and the Rogues Gallery in particular is something that has been heavily influenced by some of those staples of tokusatsu narrative. But that might be more of a conversation for next month after issue number two.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. I think there's a real boldness and willingness to make the metaphor real and tangible in a very sort of specific way in Toku that we're certainly taking a lot of inspiration from. And Batman's always been about the psychology of Bruce Wayne in some ways, and we're going to really bring that to life, I
Mhm.
think, in hopefully a Toku tradition.
Mr. Groom and Misty Urso, will you do a live stream for Inferno Girl Red Volume 2?
If that's what the people want, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Erica's now a live stream professional. Like she's streaming her art all the time, so you could see um, there is some Inferno Red 2 being produced on live stream in the archives. But yeah, well, absolutely, we could do that for sure. I'd love to talk more about the book. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
It is killer.
Book 2 is stunning. It's at the printer right now. We'll keep everyone updated as we get, the final copies in and are able to start fulfillment. And then we're going to be serializing it at Image Comics starting in December, like we did with Volume 1. I know that a little, I guess, spoiler peek forward for everybody. We have had some conversations. Eric and I have talked about maybe doing some sort of live streams that incorporate some of Erica's live sketching. Igor, if you want to set up a camera on your monitor sometime for some live coloring, we can really have fun with it. But I always like chatting with fans, readers, and artists as we watch someone kind of create on the side in front of us. So I think that would be a fun one for us all to do when book two gets closer to coming out.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see here. So Erica, Dan wants to know what was your favorite page to draw, and Igor, what was your favorite page to color in issue number one?
So I already have said my favorite pages that are the splash page of
Hmm.
Batman bursting out the cave, and the other one is the Bat Press. So now it's Igor's turn.
I do love the fighting scenes. Okay, so the most exaggerated panels are my cup of tea because I really love to freeze the moment, like in the animals on the tokusatsu moment, like in like the punches or that kind of things, and I I really like to play with colors in those panels, mainly of my colors. So I don't remember the number of the page, but I think one page the fighting scene especially was my preferred part.
Awesome. Well, while we're on this subject, Igor, what can you tell us about the Bat Press? Thanks for the super chat, EJ Godley. The Bat Press, Igor, I alluded to before. We tried a number of different color approaches. What went into the more monochromatic, but very energetic version that saw print?
At first, I tried a more classic way with the Batman of the first panel was with regular colors, so with the blue and yellow, but wasn't enough for the last big panel. So to pop up more Batman, the after a few plays with the colors, the idea was to isolate the start like a freezing moment in yellow and to frame the final pose. So it was just to prepare the scene the scene of the kick. Yeah, to um, to link the final move to the yellow of the start. So there's something like an evolution of the transition, and you can feel the freeze of the start, and at the end when there's the mega hyper explosion, and the fil rouge is the yellow and black energy on the entire page.
Now, Matt, you named behind the scenes for everybody here. You named the Bat Press the Bat Press. Uh, what was the inspiration?
I think this one is actually a very direct Kamen Rider Kiva homage. I think um, the the Kamen Rider Kiva kick is a press of some sort. My memory's a little blurry on it, but I think that's where it came from. Um, but also, I just like really like the idea of it gives you a little bit more context as to what's happening. Like it's not just being kicked. Like this monster is being literally pressed into the wall, and then the energy of Batman is being pushed through his form, through his feet, and then out, and then you get that tremendous explosion. I think it helps that sense of intensity and then combustion that you get.
Totally, totally. Awesome. All right, we're gonna get through a few more here. Common Sense wants to know, even Two Face's henshin, it was really demonic. Did he use his belt? Because I noticed that the wind came out of Two Face's belt buckle. What do you think, Matt? Was Two Face using a belt?
No belt specifically, no.
No.
But I understand your inclination to look towards the belt as an important feature for sure.
Okay, another one from Common Sense. Will we give the Shazam family the Tokusatsu treatment in the future? They are literally Sentai.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Uh-huh.
I I would love to, expand what we're doing here. To be honest, I wouldn't have thought of the Shazam
No.
family as being like the first ones to go to post Batman necessarily, but listen, I love
Look,
them. They're a bunch of
if you
fun,
buy
and I
enough
certainly see, yeah,
and if you buy enough copies of Immortal Legend Batman, anything is possible.
yeah. We'll have to ask Matt Levine specifically what the bar is to go straight to Shazam. I imagine it's a very high number, but we'll see.
Are there any plans to expand this universe beyond just Batman? Like I said, it depends on how many copies of Batman you buy. And not like that like regular Batman. Like don't like you can buy Matt Fraction's new Batman. I get it. That's fine. But like this is the Batman that matters for getting more of this kind of Batman. Slash our Toku take on the universe. So if it's between look, all I'm saying is if it's between Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez's Batman, or Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata's big Batman, chunky Batman, or it's about like sci-fi space sheriff Toku Batman, I feel like you know what you need to get. And it's also what you need to tell all your friends to get and your comic stores to order more of. Then we will expand beyond just Batman. Is that pretty much it, Matt? Is that the right
I
amount
think
of
our official
how you should
position
buy this
as
book?
a DC Comics creative team is that you should get all three. You
There's
don't
no
need to
such thing as too much
discriminate.
Batman. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I will say to this question, like, whether or not we get to do more of any sort is absolutely an open question at this point. But within the realms of just this story, you are going to see like little tiny bits of elements that, you might not necessarily associate just with Batman. You're going to see little glimpses of the wider DC universe.
Speaking of
Superman exists
Matt,
in this universe because Nightwing mantle came from his Kryptonian culture. I think it's fair to say that in this universe, the Nightwing mantle came from somewhere else, a different origin. We haven't seen a Superman in this universe at this stage.
yeah.
I think all of the mantles probably have slightly different origin points in this universe, I'd say.
Um, so I've got one more question for us that we're gonna go out on. Everyone's gonna participate in this one. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna start with Igor, then we're gonna go to Erica, then we're gonna go Matt, and because I need all that time to figure out my answer.
Yeah,
What
I see.
is what is everyone's favorite James Gunn movie?
Oh, Ego, you're first. I think you're on mute.
I got him.
Just one.
Just one.
Uh, okay. Mm, I think I have two. Okay, the first one, Guardians of the Galaxies.
Mhm.
The first one.
The first one. Okay. Erica, what's your favorite James Gunn movie? Oh, you have to unmute yourself, Erica.
I think it's the same for me as
Yeah.
Igor, but I recently saw Superman and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yep.
So I could say that Superman is on the second um, place.
Second place. Okay. I can see that. Matt, what's your favorite James Gunn movie?
Superman for me, unquestionably. Like
Superman?
I love like all of the James Gunn stuff, but um, I love Superman so much. I think that movie aligned with what I wanted from Superman in a very specific way, and also just timing wise, like boy, I just kind of needed that in that moment, And I think in some ways the world needs that right now. So
Totally.
in terms of a movie meeting the moment, Superman has to be it.
Awesome. So my favorite, Superman's definitely up there for me. I really like, so I consider it his movie, even though he didn't direct it. The Dawn of the Dead remake that actually Zack Snyder directed. was written by James Gunn, and I love that movie. Slither, I like Slither a lot. Um,
We did say just one to Igor, as you recall.
yeah, I know. I'll go with the Suicide Squad. I had a lot of fun with the Suicide Squad when it came out.
Yeah,
Just for
well
the
said from
Starro,
you. So,
the proper Starro representation, I'll go with the Suicide Squad. So,
I also
um,
really appreciate
yeah.
him like bringing Peter Capaldi in. Like I feel like the rest of Hollywood doesn't know
Oh
what they
yeah.
have in Peter Capaldi, just like being out there and being ready to do wild stuff. More movies should have him in it for sure.
Totally. Totally. Mm. Okay. All right. We're gonna end it up there. We're gonna wrap it there. Thank you everybody for joining and hearing us talk about some Batman. We'll try to do this for issue 2 as well. Maybe we'll even get we'll rope Dan more into one of these too. In the meantime, you can find us on social media. You can find us through Massiverse YouTube and our Black Market Narrative newsletter. We'll be talking quite a bit more about Inferno Girl Red Book 2, which is about to come out in the coming months, as well as Radiant Black, our upcoming audiobook, which I actually just did I did a session on today, recording some more actors for. And next month we've got have we said who the villain is yet, Matt? Next
I
month?
don't think we have, but I mentioned there's a lot of fighting, and yeah, there'll be a big physical threat for Batman. So I'm sure you can piece some of it together from
Yeah, it's definitely, well, I'm not going to say that. Yes. There's
there.
it's the blank of his existence. Um is what next issue entails. So,
The
until
Riddler of his
then,
existence is what Kyle was saying there.
yeah, exactly. The Zaz of his existence is all right. Until next month, thanks everyone. We'll see you all soon and stay radiant.